All right, what is up, guys? In today's video, we will be showcasing the first ever tiny task that doesn't include auto battle in All-Star Tower Defense. This tiny task can net you anywhere from 800 seconds all the way to 900 seconds, which can get you 2 to 3 Gauntlet coins per run. This tiny task is pretty reliable as you usually spawn in the same place, and it's something you can AFK overnight. Doesn't require too many strong units, and yeah, it's pretty good, pretty reliable. And another reminder, the giveaway in my Discord server for the Dragon Fruit is still going on. And once again, if you can tell me how many how many trash sound effects you've seen in my gunfight arena video, it'll be around here, maybe up here, maybe down here, maybe to the left right here, maybe to the left right here. It'll be there. If you can tell me how many sound effects in the comments, I will be giving you that shadow fruit, I promised. All right, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay, today we are doing the first ever tiny task gauntlet mode. All right, just like that. So, I already have the tiny task file finished and everything, so I'll just walk you through the steps as we continue. As you see, I started off the video with me dying. I started off the video this way because that's how you want to start off your tiny task. You want to start off with losing, and then once it says 10 seconds left or replay in 10 seconds, that only then should you click it. And then you'll be brought here. Reset a few times just to make sure you're in the right position. As long as you reset a few times, you'll be in the same position no matter what. Your camera angle will not change, but your position will. It's very important to be in the right position. And as you can see, I maxed out Gojo. I put a few upgrades on Oshi, just enough to get her to a buff stage. Maxed out my Konan. I used her origami battlefield ability. If your Konan is strong enough and stronger than mine, you might be able to pull the monster. Maxed out Tatsumaki to get that slow. I also started using Blackbeards to get that slow. Gojo's ability right there, I put it on auto. And I start placing Blackbeards up front. There's some better slow. This run should net you anywhere around 600 gold every single time you attempt it. You weren't able to get that last Blackbeard, but it's alright. Oh, never mind, we were. Yeah, that was the Blackbeard, but yeah. One of the Blackbeards messed up on the placement, but that's fine. What really matters is the Gojo's placement. These Gojos will be used to time stop. If you don't have 3 times speed, this method cannot work for you. But I won't be okay. If you don't have 3 times speed, you can't use my file at least. You would have to use a different file. And just in case you messed up on the Gojo time stops, you'll be replacing them. Since these time stops are spread out, there's no way you can mess up on them. Now we play the waiting game. You can start your mini domain anytime you want if you know like the perfect time stop without having to see the enemies get time stopped. Another very important thing about this run is that you have to have the orbs that you can see down below. If you don't have the cost reduction orb on Gojo, you will barely be able to get his nuke. And if you're barely able to get his nuke, okay, if you don't have the cost reduction orb on Gojo, getting his nuke will cost way more. On top of that, you won't be able to get mobs nuke because you won't have the cost reduction orb to reduce Gojo's nuke cost. Also, on top of that, if you don't do that too, see, as you can see, I was trying to click mob right there, but I was unable to do that. That is just a mistake of this original prototype Tiny Task. This Tiny Task can be like perfect down to the molecule, or can mess up because some units are faster than others. In the event that it does mess up, that could cause a lot of problems. But this Tiny Task is pretty close to perfect. So as long as you grab mob when you're about to do it, come all the way back here, wait for units to go by. Once you press the nuke, ideally, if your Gojo is max level like mine, your Konan is not max level, your Mob is not max level, plays down all these other units. Tatsumaki's level 1, Blackbeard's level 8. All that really doesn't matter. If your Oshi can't get a perfect buff, and that's also an issue. There's just a lot of variables that fit into it that makes it so this is more of a unique kind of thing. Like, you have to set this up yourself, you have to use your own units. Based on their level is based on how far you'll get. Because this method isn't like, ooh, 100% sure, like, if I do it this way, you can do it that way. The levels play a huge role into this, and the amount of damage you can get out plays a huge role. But, on the bright side, no matter how low your damage is, I believe you're guaranteed at least 300 to 600 seconds per run, which is 1 to 2 golds per run, which is wonderful. If you can consistently get that amount and just AFK overnight, then you'll literally have Sid, you'll have Aizen in no time. I personally didn't do this method when I was grinding for those units, but once I figured this out, it just made things so much easier. Because you can just sit here, tiny task, and be done with it. Your units will usually do the same amount of damage since there's no such thing as damage fluctuation in this game. So the tiny task is basically perfect. The only issue, as you can see, is these Moonman Riders shouldn't be up here and shouldn't have killed me this early into the run. Now that could cause issues. That cloner was what's supposed to kill me. And just like that, I had to manually reset the tiny task. If I didn't manually reset the tiny task, this tiny task would have went on for a little bit longer, or this tiny task would have started a little bit later, and would just cause an endless cycle until it finally reaches that point where it perfectly resets itself. And waiting for that is very inconsistent. This method is, although a 100% chance, easiest clear of your life for 2 Gauntlet coins at the start. In the case it does mess up, get really messy, and issues can start piling up. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Alright, see you guys. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Another tip of advice is when you're doing this tiny task, you want to kill the cloner and die to the 3 little things the cloner summons in. When you die to those, it's kind of like a reliable point where like you can clearly tell what you're gonna die to and what you're gonna lose to. Once that happens, it'll just be all fine and dandy. You'll be ready to just go, win, succeed. Hey, get your gauntlet coins. Good luck to anybody who's trying to do this, and have a great one. I'll see you guys later.